This is that once in a lifetime.
Privacy. What is privacy, and why is it important? Or should I be saying, what is privacy anymore? And is it important nowadays? Privacy by its definition is a human right enshrined in law, a fundamental right upon which countless others are built upon. It gives us the capacity to think and act for ourselves. The problem of privacy invasion isn't exactly a new problem, with fears and controversies spanning from the Big Brother type governments watching your every move, being the centerpiece of classic fiction like George Orwell's 1984 after World War II, to the fear of communist spies and government mind control devices during the Cold War. But never before have we seen our own data, ironically in the words of the World Wide Web's creator himself, Tim Berners-Lee, being weaponized against us. We've lost control of our personal data. The drastically different landscape of today's world with the emergence of the internet and social media has made protecting consumer privacy one of the biggest challenges of the digital age. What behavioural steps then can we take to protect privacy? And what can be done from a policy perspective to guard against further encroachments upon our privacy?
Major online retailers and social networks border the line of what is considered ethical or legal, collecting countless amounts of personal data and selling it onto companies for the sake of advertisement and marketing. In early 2018, Cambridge Analytica harvested personal data from millions of Facebook accounts without consent for targeted political advertising. Equifax, Experian and TransUnion can use online profiles for credit reporting. Other uses of personal data include identity verification, fraud detection, background checks, tenant screening and cybersecurity through third parties like LinuxNexus and ID Analytics. This is legal majority of the time, just written in hard to access privacy policies behind phone calls and information request forms. People remain unaware of what they like on Facebook may have an adverse effect on getting a loan in the future.
We know our privacy is under siege, but what can we actually do? You probably need to acknowledge that there's some serious cognitive dissonance going on. Recent studies have uncovered that individuals tend to exhibit a privacy paradox. While you might think you're concerned about your online privacy, your online activity probably suggests otherwise. Rejecting unnecessary cookies is a handy way to protect yourself. Cookies essentially facilitate data mining through storing information about an internet user's browsing history. Next time you see them pop up on your screen, think carefully about what you're doing by accepting them. Establishing separate email accounts is also important. Your business or personal email is a valuable commodity to marketers who want to access the data associated with that email to profile you and analyze your online behavior. Having a separate email for all consumer purchases will ensure your private life and private browsing are kept from those who seek to exploit this. These tangible steps are important, but our mindset must be one that actively questions and thinks about how our data is being harnessed. We must instinctively question and challenge this erosion of our consumer privacy, rather than mindlessly forfeit our data and in turn, part of our identity.
The main online protection we have in Australia is the Privacy Act from 1988. Yes, this has had amendments since then, but that doesn't change the fact that the fundamentals of this legislation were drafted years before the internet was even commercialised. With this policy being largely outdated, our online protection is up to us, the consumers. This makes it far too easy for all manner of personal details to be accessed, stored and distributed. In a perfect world, stronger, more relevant online policies would exist, which protect our information completely. But with the global nature of the internet, it is simply impossible for individual countries to control the Wild West nature of the World Wide Web. Data is instant today, and there will always be those who can access it if it is out there. Education about how to protect our information is the only way to keep ourselves safe online in Australia.